As you can see, there's some changes happening on the river. Trees are falling, being uprooted. Somebody coming through with a chopper knocking things down too. Early morning fog. Good girl. Where are you going so fast, Lucy? Here's where they cut down the tree that was felled by lightning a couple years ago.
Hey, life.
And there's some
Hello,
ideal
Monroe.
locations.
Thank you, Monroe. Hey, Jennifer.
Well, my arm's getting tired, so that's enough for now.
Why we are at Ryder, we're going to our favorite fishing spot. Yeah, right. You can't eat the fish here. Oh, good morning. We have a guest that will be arriving in about 15 minutes. She lives close by and she does a lot of gardening. Hey, cuz. Good morning, Erin. Oh, I was getting ready to put some ham and split pea soup in the freeze dryer last night. I had a few minutes to wait for the freeze dryer to get cold enough, and I looked up, went to go get it, and Lucy had cleaned one tray of split pea soup up with my back turned. If they can ask, can you start seeds in coffee grounds? I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't try it because that's high acid. Now, if you had berries, that may be a different story, but that's high acid. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, TM. And good morning, Cuz. And Aaron, good morning. And Buster, as usual, is driving to the feed store to get his feed, so he can't text until he gets there. And congratulations, Matt. I seen your notification last night. That is the way to do it. You know, putting it in a powder, you can add it to your seed start, I would. All right, Lucy, I know you wanted attention. Get up here. Up, up. I know that's what you wanted. You could probably start seeds in anything, because they have everything they need in the seed itself to start growing. Okay, now go lay down. Matt didn't tag his live in homestead group. Just saying. Question: can I put a 12-week-old female in with 8-week-old bunnies? You probably could, but I don't know if it would be good. 8-week-old bunnies are old enough to be without a mama. Lucy's 11 years old. But already in the last 15 minutes, I already drank my cup of coffee. Ken, mustard greens will grow anywhere. Oh, you better get that rabbit. My plants are doing good. And Tim, why wait till the first of next month? You're losing a whole month. I'm going to get some coffee. I'll be right back. See, Lucy was being a good girl. She came up to say hi to you all. Now, if she goes barking crazy, it's because we got delivery coming of her treats and stuff. Because Mama's been out of treats. Rabbits out. Yeah, that's a good name for it. It's so cold here, I have to plant in containers. Well, so do I. You start your seeds now so your plants are good when it starts getting a little warmer to transplant them. I may put my peas and that out towards the end of the month. Or if you're planning to plant outside, you'll you'll have to go buy plants if you don't start them inside first. 'Cause that's what the nurseries and that do. Old wives' tale used to have when I was a kid was if you're gonna plant anything outside, you start them February 2nd. You start working on them February 2nd. Hey, CB. So your Matt says his plants go out tax day. So that means April 15th is when you put your plants outside. That will cause you to lose a lot of the season, TM. You know, I remember one year I started planting around my brother's birthday, April 20th. That is bad about the TSC checks, but it's good about the quail. Let's hope they do exchange them. Mustard greens will grow on almost anything. I know, Aaron, but you live so far south, you got that luxury. Well, good luck on however you try, TM. I don't know unless you mention the channel. That's great, Andy. No, I don't know them. My rabbits are about ready to be processed. But I tell you what, I miss my quail. Quail are a heck of a lot easier than rabbits. That's cool. What kind of rabbits do you have, Amy? Well, you got to clean rabbit pens too. Yeah, so those silver boxes should be huge compared to what I have because mine are Havanas. I hate when I go to click a comment and in the chat a jump and I end up clicking the next one instead. Yeah, but it's all a toss up. But see, remember, I do everything inside. I do everything inside. Let's see what the weather is now. That means build more cages. On to the fact that I have 70 quail, limited time to sell any. They'll be 4 weeks old. Like outdoor cages is better too, but I have too many to have them in the house. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I'd like you to meet Kimberly from Kim's Corner.
Hello, everyone. Am I coming in okay?
You sounding great.
Thanks for having me today.
Now, Kimberly, you're in the Dayton area, which is just a half an hour away from me. And can you tell me a little bit about your what you do?
Absolutely. In my everyday life, I work full time, and I have, oh my goodness, I have a family of 3 at home. And my full-time work, I work for a consumer products company that has me traveling all over the country. And with that travel, I'm gone about 50% of the time during the week. And then at home, I have a 74-year-old mother, and I have 2 young girls that I adopted. So I am a adoptive parent, if you want to call it that. So I have an 11-year-old who has some disabilities or whatever you want to call them. She's autistic. And then I have an 8-year-old. And so I adopted those 2. And then I have an adult daughter who doesn't live here anymore. So I'm down to a family of 4. And I garden. I believe in being self-sufficient in the garden. So I grow all of my own food. I grow a year's supply of my own foods. And then I preserve, and I believe in cooking from scratch. So I try not to do anything processed. I try to make it myself. And I've made some messes over the years. But for the most part, most things come out pretty good.
Do you can freeze dry or what?
So I freeze and I dehydrate and I can. And I'm learning how to do fermentation. So I'm a novice there, but I've got the canning down. I do water bath canning as well as pressure canning. And then I want a freeze dryer, but I don't have one yet. So I just dehydrate right now. Oh, that's not my background for people who are asking questions. It's it's what do you call them? One of those generated
Green
back.
screen. Yeah.
I
I
wish
let
I
everybody see
know.
my background. I don't care.
This automatically came up. I need to learn a little more about technology.
Yeah, because Annie asked if you play a piano.
I
And she
don't
said that's
play.
nice. Oh,
I really would love to show my background. So let me find it so I can fix that, because I would love for you to see. And I do garden. So I garden outdoors and I garden indoors. And so there we go. Let's see if I can make it stick though.
yeah, it should, as long as you get rid of the
There we go.
background.
There we
Yeah.
go. So I have an indoor grow space as well. And so the lights are kind of bright. I'll dim them in just a moment, but I grow just behind me here in a 5x5 grow tent. And so all of my seedlings are in there for this upcoming season, as well as plants and different things that I've been eating through the winter. So I could keep the fresh greens going. I have peppers and I have tomatoes in there as well.
Everybody wants to know how large your garden is or how many different things.
Okay, so how large is my garden? I have raised bed garden, a raised bed garden that sits just on the side of my garage. So it's probably about 20 feet long and 5, 10, it's probably a 20 by 20 space. And there are raised beds in there. I have containers in there. I have vertical gardening containers in there as well. So I do GreenStalks. I have about 11 GreenStalks, 11 that I have outside every year. And in addition to that space, I do a little bit on my patio area. So I have a few containers out there. And then I am so crazy about gardening. Next door at my neighbors, they used to be avid, gardeners, but they've gotten up in age. So what I do is I plant all of their beds for them as well. And so they have about 10 4x4 raised beds over there. And so I plant that garden up for them, making sure I put in there what they like. And then anything extra I bring back to my house and make it part of my year's supply of vegetables. And so even though I'm a family of 4, this year I'm growing for 12 people. So I'm growing for neighbors on both sides of me, my immediate family, and then I have one more family friend that doesn't live in the neighborhood but lives close by. So once a week they'll be coming over grabbing vegetables. And then I also grow for my brother and his family, who lives about an hour and a half away from me. So our goal this year, so last year the goal was grow a year's supply of vegetables. This year's goal is to not only grow enough for me, but grow enough for my family and friends in the area.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to share this out to them. First, I'm going to put your
And
channel.
I'm going to turn the lighting down so everybody can see my grow space. I'll be right back.
Wait a minute, I got to premiere this.
That's a little better. So there's a 5x5 grow tent. I have 2 GreenStalks in there as well. So I brought 2 GreenStalks in from outdoors this past winter, and there are tomatoes and peppers and bok choy, green beans, lettuce, carrots, potatoes. We just harvested indoor potatoes last week. We're super excited about that. That's the first time we've ever done that.
Now here shows some of our green stalk from last year. Let's watch last May. I gotta present it.
Oh, okay.
Hello and welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. Today we are going to do a GreenStalk update. I want to show you how my GreenStalks are doing throughout my garden as well as the garden next door, which I take care of. So let's just get started on how the GreenStalks are doing. In this space here, these are my patio GreenStalks. I have a total of 4 GreenStalks in this space here. Before I get into too much detail, if you don't know what a GreenStalk is, it is a vertical planting system. You're growing up versus out in just under a 2x2 foot space. I have a video called All Things GreenStalk. You can learn all kinds of information about GreenStalks in that video, as well as a wealth of GreenStalk information in a GreenStalk playlist on my channel. So check out my GreenStalk videos and you can learn a ton of information prior to purchasing one. And if you're interested in purchasing a GreenStalk, if you follow my link in the description and you go to the Green.
See, now that's one.
Yep. If you fast forward a little bit more, you'll be able to see a little more.
Oh no, I'm just giving them. I'm just giving them teasers.
Okay. I love it. So I've had my YouTube channel up for about
last frost,
14 months now.
Some more seeds. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. We are going to start some lettuce as well as some more herbs, among other things, today.
See, now if people think that they have a brown thumb, if they say, "Oh, I can't grow anything, I got a brown thumb," what would you say to them?
Oh, all things want to grow. All things want to grow. Everything wants to live. That's the way I think about it. And, you know, I used to believe that too many years ago because I would try to grow like green plants and that kind of stuff indoors. And I felt like I just wasn't doing a good job. But I promise you, you can grow. You might not be able to grow everything. And even me, I've been gardening now for more than 15 years and everything doesn't always come out right. But most of this is taking care of itself. And I believe everything wants to grow. And I believe everybody can grow. Everybody can grow. And you don't need a green thumb. You just need to try. You just need to try. And I think that's the biggest piece. A lot of us, you know, we get, you know, we're too afraid to try or we're too afraid to fail. And if you never try, then you'll never know. And so start small. Throw some, you know, lettuce seeds and see how they do. And then, you know, you can build up from there, but you have to try.
But remember, Amy, when you go to get knockoffs, you got to know that they're not as good. You'll have a lot. You got to find out where the weak areas are and what to do about them.
Yeah. And the watering system, in my mind, is the biggest piece to really think about. Like you're right, the Dollar Tree, the dollar stores, they all have some variety of a vertical planter, but usually you don't get good even watering in those systems. And you usually have a little issue with stability as well. And I actually went to the GreenStalk site, where they make GreenStalks. It was about a year ago. It was in March of last year. I went and I met the inventor's daughter and the son who came up with the design. And they took me into the manufacturing floor and kind of showed me how they do everything. And, it's a family out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Everything's made right here in the U.S. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, hello, Molly. Yeah, it's the thing is you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Sometimes spending a few dollars extra up front is worth it in time and money down the road.
Yeah. And the GreenStalk product is, I think it comes with like a 5-year warranty. And I leave mine out in the weather all year long. So the Ohio winters and how sporadic they can be, the ones I have now, I've had for 4 years, and they haven't degraded at all. And they're sitting in the weather all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got one out there, and I bought another one that I'm going to fill up with rabbit scat. Because when I got mine last year, I went to Wally World and got soil, potting soil. That's the worst. No fertilizer, nothing in it.
I typically use a couple different brands, right? Depends which one of those brands are on sale at the time. But Fox Farm, which is so expensive, it's so expensive. So if I can find it on sale, I'll use that. I also use Pro Mix potting soil, but I make sure I get the ones that's got the moisture control in it. Or I will use the Miracle Grow moisture control potting soil, but it's expensive. It is so expensive. And so I would prefer to get some that's got just a little bit of fertilizer in it and that's better quality and not full of just, big sticks of wood and all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't think would be in your potting soil. So pay a little more for a little better quality. You don't have to add the fertilizer, as often if it comes with a little bit in it.
That's true, because if you can't afford to gather for the GreenStalks, then you do what you can afford to. Just know you have to replace it every year.
Yep.
Probably.
I mean, someone came up and said that, they've grown in a box before. So have I. I have grown in the hospital pans. Somebody gave me a stack of 20 of those, and I just put holes at the bottom, and I grew green beans in a hospital pan. So, I mean, whatever you can find that works, try it, grow something.
My daughter, when she was in first grade, everybody else does flowers, for Mother's Day, and the teacher tried to talk her into planting flowers for me, and she said, "No, my mom wants tomatoes." My mom don't like pretty things. She likes things that are useful. But so I grew that. I lived in a basement apartment at the time, and I grew that in a styrofoam cooler on the front porch. And we had fun with it. Good morning, Jerry. Butler Family Farm is here. But potatoes are great to grow in cardboard boxes. I mean, you just keep piling that hay on top of it. And if you want red potatoes, sweet potatoes are better. I have to double check something here. Yes, Jerry and Susan. That's what I thought. I call somebody's name, then I have to double check on my list. Is that their right name?
Oh, I like leaf mulch too. I have this one side of my house where we never clean the leaves up, and I never clean them up. And when I get ready to plant my potatoes, I'll go over there and I'll get this huge, thick bunch of decomposing leaves, and I'll put that in my container as well. And I had some of my best potatoes using that leaf mulch.
Yeah, you guys want to see my sweet potato finally sprouted some slips. Let me get it to show you guys. And I will put these in one of the GreenStalks. See, there's my sweet potato slips. So that means we are going to have some sweet potatoes growing in the GreenStalk.
Nice.
Because that's your greens, because you can, on the sweet potatoes, you can eat the leaves in the stems just like you would spinach. And then you got the potatoes to harvest at the end of the year. And I might get ornery enough to just bring that back in the house if it's not ready to harvest before frost, to let it grow longer if we can carry it up the stairs.
You're talking me into a sweet potato video today. I'm going to have to do my sweet potato video today now.
That's good. Did you start your sweet potatoes already?
Nope, I'm going to start them today. I got them laid out.
Great.
I will be doing sweet potatoes this year in a metal raised bed. Last year, I did 100-gallon grow bags, the fabric grow bags last year for my sweet potatoes. And this year, I'm going to do them in a metal raised bed in some grow bags, right? I'm going to anywhere I can put vegetables in my yard, I will sneak over to the neighbors and put it on their back porch if I could.
Are you a March Hare? Today is March 2nd. It seems like it's later than that. Today's March 2nd. And the March Hare comes from Alice in Wonderland. Meaning, are you crazy? So we're crazy for spring. We got spring fever.
I'm definitely ready.
I know. I think I'm gonna start some cold weather seeds. I got some peas, snow peas, and that are ready to be transplanted. And I am so itching to want to transplant that in my GreenStalk already.
I am going to plant my cool season crops in my GreenStalks in about 3 weeks. Some of them, not everything. Some things like some lettuce, kohlrabi, broccoli, cauliflower,
snow peas, and all that kind of stuff you can put in it. Then, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm itching to do it.
And they can take a light frost for, who those don't know, cool season crops. They can take a light frost. It's not, as long as it's not one of those super hard frost, right? But they can take a light frost, and they're sweeter afterwards, typically.
Exactly. And another thing with the GreenStalks, you could either, if you don't buy their cover, if you didn't buy it in time, if you got a roll of plastic for your windows or something like that, just drape that over your GreenStalk.
I've put what do you call them? The stakes in my GreenStalks, and then I've put a blanket over it. If it was going to be a super heavy frost, I've done that in the past too. So, I mean, there are many options on how to protect it if you get that deep frost that you weren't expecting. looks like there's a question.
Right. Which one do you want? How do you get consistent watering, Kimberly? That is my issue. Lots of garden areas to water.
So 2 years ago, I did the what do you call it? I ran water lines. I have
the tape, watering tape.
I don't use the tape though. It's still a hose.
Yeah,
I tried
the tubes.
The tubes, yeah. The first I tried
tubes.
The first I tried to do a soaker hose.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so far away from my water source that I couldn't get enough pressure. So then I went into the hoses with the little tubes that has a regulator like every 6 inches or 12 inches or so. And so my main garden is on a system. I hand water all of my GreenStalks and I hand water all of my containers, but my raised beds are on a system. Mm-hmm. And I used to water when I would go to water, I would water for like 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, this is taking too long. So I went ahead and installed the drip watering system for my raised bed. And so I turn it on. And while that's doing its thing, I hand water my 11 GreenStalks and my other containers. And so I'm done in about 30 minutes.
You do have a hose that you can reach to all your GreenStalks, right?
Yes, that was intentional. I had to be very strategic in where
right, because trying to carry a 5-gallon bucket to do it is a pain in the butt. And it's hard to lift it up that high.
Yeah, last year I was a little bit out of range. And so I'm like spraying water up and trying to get it into the GreenStalk. This year, those two that were almost out of range, we're going to relocate those so we don't have that issue again.
Yeah, what I do is I fill the top like you're supposed to. But then I do the pockets too, a little bit on the pockets to make sure everything's getting a good drenching.
I do the pockets if I have like young seedlings or like seeds that haven't germinated yet, then I'll do the pockets. But I usually have so many lined up, I fill up the top till it's full, and then I walk away and I do the next, and then I come back around for a second round. and usually a couple of times filling the top up, that's enough to get it through the whole system. I don't stack mine all the way up. So if you have the original, this 5 tiers, or the leaf planter, which I think you can get in 7 tiers, I'm short. And I can't see in the top on those. So I only do 4 tiers of the original. And if I'm doing the leaf planter, I'll do 5 tiers. And it puts it at a good height for me so I can see over into it.
There's another thing. Now you'll know where you can get some rabbit poo from.
Ooh.
Because that's what my fig tree, I planted that in pure rabbit poo. Rabbit scat.
And you didn't have to water much?
Oh, I still water it. But it holds moisture just like a lot of those soils do. So you don't have to water as often, and you don't have to worry about a drought so much. Do you do any water collecting on yours?
I don't yet. I needed to move some things around so I could put in a system on my downspouts. And I just finished on Tuesday moving some things around. And so later today, we're going to go out and finish kind of touching up. I got a new barn and I moved some things around so I could put a really nice size collection system right in the back corner of my main garden so I don't have to go far. And so this year, yes, we will be collecting lots and lots of water. I spend a lot of money on water every year. And so we need to collect as much as possible, but I had to make some changes. Is there a a particular brand or variety of collection systems that anybody out there could recommend? Because I was going to just Google it.
Most people just do it on their own. But you got to get those big old catchment things unless you go by get the old fashioned type like rain barrels.
Yeah, and I want something big. I need it to catch somewhere between, more than 50 gallons. I'm looking at something that's going to be in the 100
Like a
gallon.
few hundred gallons, yeah.
Yes, at least that's what I'm setting up for. So what do you call them? ICBs or whatever,
Yeah.
those big plastic.
ICB totes, yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping for. But those things are expensive, and I don't see anybody giving them away.
Well, they also last for many years. I plan on using a what I can get set up for rain collection.
That may be my approach this year as well. I was trying to find, somebody that actually sold ICB totes. And
Have you tried looking on Facebook and see if anybody had any?
I have not. What, Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace?
Uh-huh.
I need to kind of spread my wings and find something, because if I only did, a 50-gallon, container, that won't water half of my garden. I mean, I'm growing, just to kind of give, people an idea. I grew over 100 tomato plants last year in this space that I'm talking about. And about 60, I believe, potato or pepper plants, in addition to everything else. Oh, wow. I need to grab this information. From Sow the Land. Sow the Land.
Amy, I can't remember. Are you in Ohio? Because on Craigslist, it depends. You have to know what town to look at. Yeah, Amy's in Ohio too. Which Craigslist community did you look in for that? Hey, not sure. Oh, that's Ginger. That's right. Good morning, Ginger. Oh, she's in the Columbus area, so she's a little north of us.
Okay.
So if you're willing to go up to Columbus.
Yes, I would go to Columbus, but then I would just have to find a way to carry it back. So, but that's not that far. Honestly, I might be closer to Columbus than Cincinnati, depending on where I'm trying to go.
I know, I'm thinking about putting some Daikon radishes, getting some Daikon radishes going.
I'm doing those this year for the first time.
Well, if I get them, it'll be my first time. Just be sure they are food grade,
Yep.
or had food in them. We have a source, although it's all chemicals, still looking. Run a U-Haul truck.
Yeah. Or borrow my neighbors.
Nita. I know you were sick. I hope you're feeling better now. There you go. Ken lost his car at the Ohio State Fair in 74. It's okay, dear. We know people get busy. And I'm glad you're on the mend. There you go. Columbus CL Farm and Garden has food grade IBCs for $25.
Nice.
Morning, Brandon. Cool. Shepherd pie. See, Nita does cooking.
Oh.
They also sell bladders for the IBC totes.
Oh. Oh, car wash. That's a good thought. Yeah.
Well, sometimes we all need long naps. We'll see if we don't sleep during the night. Where did you post it at, Kimberly?
I'm sorry, what am I posting? I posted the link.
She said she posted the link, but I don't see her posting anything that could be considered a link. I didn't see it. Yeah, send it to Steve and he'll post it.
And thank you.
See, I told you this is a great community.
It is.
And you would fit in it. You need to come to QuailCon.
There's just so much you can learn. I mean, when you stop learning, you're done, right? You're done. And
you're dead.
Exactly, right? Right. And so, no, there's so much you can learn. Thank you so much for the invite today. And I mean, there's so much I'm getting out of this as well.
Good morning, Bill. No, it didn't even look like anything posted in the chat. There, because I see nothing with HTTP or anything like that. No, Bill, you wouldn't be able to do anything. But thank you for the offer.
So someone's asking about the lighting in my grow tent. I have a variety of lights for seed starting, I use shop lights, just a standard shop light. I think mine are 3 feet or 4 feet long with the standard tubes shop
Mine's
lights.
about like that.
And I think mine are 4 feet long because it's longer than my 3 foot shelving. So 4 foot long shop lights. And I try to get 5K or above as far as the brightness of the lights. And then in addition to the shop lights, I do have some grow lights. I have some pretty high powered grow lights in there. And that's for the food that I'm growing to eat now, not necessarily seedlings. And on my website, I have a indoor grow space setup video where it talks about all the different lights that I have, the type of tent that I have. It's all in there.
I didn't see you putting in this chat in the chat at all. Amy, so I was seeing you describing things, but there was no link. You have to have a wrench and able to be able to post a link in the chat here. Good morning, Nikki. That's Short Pickens Quail. Okay, there you go. There's a seed dropped for you. S.O. Swanson. You have to go on to YouTube, open the YouTube tab in order to be able to click on it. Or you can copy and paste it.
I'm trying to grab it.
It's hard to grab it on StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
So what you had to do is you had to open up the YouTube channel and go that way.
I got it. All right.
Cool.
Thank you for that link.
Welcome back, Matt.
I was trying to join the chat and I was going to drop the link to the video that has the grow lights and the indoor grow setup. But for whatever reason, it's not letting me join. Every time I try to set it up, connecting through YouTube, it cuts me off. So I apologize that I can't get that set up.
What kind of pressure cooker is good? Are you talking about for canning or just for cooking? That's what you need to know. Presto has a electric pressure canner that is good. That's the only one that the USDA recommends so far.
And I have that one, and I love it.
Is it safe to place heat mats on a wooden shelf? Yeah, they don't get that hot. They don't even get as hot as your heating pad does. There's another one that shows one in Cincinnati.
I'm grabbing that link too.
Are you in my chat?
I'm not.
Okay, because if you were to open my chat window, you're on YouTube, then you would be able to type in exclamation point Quail and drop your link in.
Oh, wait a minute. I have another idea. Wait a minute. It might let me put it in the private too. That might be faster for me.
Well, I already did it and do it this way. See where it shows. You know, Nikki, Nikki, this is the first time I used them too. Because before I used to say I don't like to start seeds because I don't have success with them. And that was the reason why. It's because I didn't have a heat mat. And I've even got extra heat mats. Thank you, cuz he's my main moderator.
Oh, thank you. I got to get better with this technology.
Yeah, because I tell you what, StreamYard's easy to use. Then when you order when you get StreamYard, because it's no download, you go to Nightbot and set your Nightbot up. And you can always call me, and I can walk you through setting up Nightbot and everything.
Thank you. I've had quite a few people say, "Hey, Kim, when are you going to do a live stream?" And I'm like, I have to figure it out first.
But see, I don't can anymore. I freeze dry everything.
So what type of freeze dryer do you have? The Harvest Right?
Harvest Right, medium size.
I want
so. Well, they about $3,000 with delivery and everything. Or let's say $3,200, I think.
That might be my Christmas present to myself.
Oh yeah, I bought mine when I got the stimulus money.
Oh.
Because I saved both stimulus checks and then added a little more money to it, and that's how I got it. Yeah, you know why the 4-shelf mediums are on clearance at Tractor Supply? Because if you buy the new ones from Harvest Right, you get a 5-shelf for the same money.
These are the ones where you can convert the inside? Did I see that? If you have the original unit, they have
it costs you over $1,000 to get the other one. So you get the invert. Hey Don, you got your coffee yet? Oh, he said he had a beet live for 3 years before it went to seed, and he kept eating the leaves. And yes, don't forget, Harvest Right has a layaway plan. $250 down and pay what you can, And it's when you get it paid off that they ship it to you.
Oh, nice.
Hubby is walking in with the coffee right now. Cool.
Now, for the people who are eating the beet leaves, what do they taste like? I don't like beets. I grow beets for my neighbors, but I don't like beets, but I might like the leaves.
Similar to mustard greens and turnip greens.
Oh, I love those. So that'll
So
probably
you
be
love beet greens too.
yeah.
You know,
Because I grow mustard, I grow turnip, I grow the collard greens.
Yeah. Do you do kale?
I do kale. Mm-hmm.
Now kale is better once it gets hit by frost.
And collard greens as well. I like the collard greens after they've been hit by frost.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Kat says beet greens are very sweet and a great diuretic.
So we just added beets back to the list for this year because I was going to count them out this year. We're going to add them back.
You can cook the beet leaves and cook the beet leaves.
Oh, wow. Better than lettuce.
Yeah, you can eat beet greens raw, steamed, sauteed, braised, or add to soups. Well, see, then you should like sweet potato leaves too.
Yes. I've had so many people ask me, what are you doing with those sweet potato leaves? And I just composted them last year. But my plan was to eat them this year.
Yeah. TM wants to try to grow rutabagas, or at least try to. It takes so long to grow them.
I've never grown that.
We're a little bit too far north.
Mm.
You'd have to grow it in a greenhouse.
Well, I'm going to get a bigger one because I'm running out of room in this one. If I try to put anything else in there, it's going to be busting at the seams.
So what you? No, I say that's a grow tent. A greenhouse is a.
You mean outside, but I can grow pretty much anything that's in a greenhouse in my grow tent. Pretty much anything, yeah.
Right, but that takes up your living area, whereas a greenhouse is.
Well, we're actually in my basement, so this isn't
okay.
So this is more of a storage area that I turned into I call it my grow room. That's what I call this entire space in here. So the only thing in this room is my 5x5 grow tent and anything I need to grow in the grow tent. That's it. That's all that's in this space down here. It's where I get away from life and I get back to what I call nature when I can't go outside because it's snowing or 20 below zero.
Well, you want me to tell you another way that you can make a grow tent, so to speak, without buying a grow tent?
Absolutely.
Use those emergency blankets that are made out of mylar.
Yes.
And make your own tent.
Yes. So I heard someone else talking about that like over the last few days, putting the mylar around some shelving units and that kind of stuff. And it kind of gives you that same grow tent effect.
Last Saturday, this is my last live I saw, and today the first since the hospital trip. How are you feeling, Dawn? Yeah, but they're good for eating. I mean, the rabbits love them. Pigs love them. People love them. You can sell them on your roadside stand. There you go, Andy. Yeah, well, see, I like to give my greens to my animals.
I have tried the radish leaves.
A little spicy, huh?
Just a little bit, yeah.
What kind of peppers do you grow?
I grow mostly sweet peppers. So I have bell peppers. I have uh, shishito peppers. I grow longhorn shaped peppers. So giant Marconi, thunderbolt, any kind of bell you can think of. Where we're talking baby bell, the red bells, California wonder, the orange wonders, the anything from a bell standpoint. Paprika peppers we grew for the first time last year. Jimmy Nardello, Joe Parker's. And then from a hot pepper standpoint, serranos, cayenne peppers, jalapeno peppers. Going back to sweet peppers, I grow something called a yummy. And I have 10-year-old seeds. They're 10 years old and they all just germinated. And they're way too many. And what else do I do from a hot pepper standpoint? I did jalapenos. I'm also doing jalapenos so I can get the jalapeno taste, but not the heat. And I'm doing habaneros. Habaneros.
Habaneros. One habanero per quart of salsa will make it hot salsa.
Ooh, nice. And I'm doing habaneros, so for the flavor, but not the heat. But mostly sweet peppers, just a few hot peppers because my immediate family doesn't like them.
Well, see, the first time I canned peppers, I used the bread and butter pickle recipe for my jalapenos. And each jar I put one habanero in.
How was it?
I thought it was great.
Oh, cool.
My sister claims she's allergic to them.
I use my jalapenos to make cowboy candy. And I use my my habaneros, so the ones that's not spicy, to make cowgirl candy. And I will be releasing a video here in the next day or two where I made hot sauce over from my peppers from last year. So I'm editing that video right now and it'll be released in the next couple of days. And it is the best Louisiana style hot sauce I've ever made. I mean, it was really good this year.
I know somebody that used some ghost peppers.
Oh, wow. That's hot.
And made their own hot sauce out of it.
That's too hot for me.
And he told me, he says, you got to try this. You got to try this. They poured some on some cottage cheese. You know what cottage cheese does to heat.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So when I ate it, and I said, you got some more? He goes, you liked it? I said, yeah, that's pretty good. Cottage cheese takes the heat away. So you're only left with flavor. Oh, boy. There you go. Last Monday, Eddie slipped out there. It was only her for about 20 minutes or so to get back up. and her granddaughter recited the whole "Help, I've fallen and can't get up" necklace button commercial. Yeah, it was and wasn't funny. Ted gets his hot sauce from Taco Bell. You can pick up a walker with a seat to help garden tools to keep garden tools in from Goodwill. Well, if you don't mind taking over the chat until I get back, I have to go answer a call you can't refuse. So just go ahead and read and answer questions.
Okay. Someone is March Hare Farms certified eggs.
Yeah, that's my Nightbot commercial.
Oh, okay. So those free hot sauce packets that you get from Taco Bell, they give you enough, right? You can get enough, and you can like probably get a gallon of hot sauce from it pretty quickly. It looks like there's a question about, I'm thinking this is the seats that you can get from Goodwill. It says there's no holes in the seat.
That sounds about right. There's no holes in the seat from Goodwill, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that the walker seat.
Okay. So there's a question on here about what I grow in my vertical planters. So I do, last year I did squash, I did cucumbers, I did peppers, I did beans, I did broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, collard greens, mustard greens, tomatoes. I think I grew a little bit of everything. If I didn't say tomatoes, peppers. I've tried everything except for root crops in my vertical planters, but I've seen many people do it. I haven't tried corn in there yet, but everything else I've pretty much tried at least once. And all of my herbs are in there. I grow strawberries. I have whole towers with nothing but strawberries in them.
Now on mine, I got the one that I used last year. It's got strawberries on the top ring, and some trail down to the next ring. I grew cucumbers, snow peas, tomatoes, eggplant.
What did I forget? Radishes, carrots.
Somebody wanted to know your trick on carrots.
I pray. No. So for my carrots, when I plant the seeds, some people put like plastic or something over when you first plant the seeds. I try to keep the seeds as moist as possible. And so if I'm home and I'm not traveling, then I will spray those seeds once a day. You know, in addition to watering my vertical planters, I will spray them once a day. And I will take a leaf from one of my trees, that's on the ground, and I'll put a leaf over it to kind of help hold that moisture in. I've heard people say put saran wrap over, your pockets for your carrots. If you're growing carrots in your raised beds, I've put like a 2x4 over it to kind of keep the moisture in until they germinate. And I've heard that does really well for carrots. But last year was the best season I've ever had with carrots. And all I did was, put them in the ground, kept them watered evenly. And I think my drip irrigation system helped with that in my raised beds. And then in my GreenStalks, I just made sure that I sprayed water on that pocket every day that I was home.
What time of day did you usually water?
The best time of day to water is first thing in the morning before it gets too hot, is what I hear. But that wasn't always the case. So I would never water in the middle of the day. If I couldn't do it first thing in the morning, I would do it just right at sunset, versus watering when the sun is the peak of the day. In the summer months, when it's, 100 in the shade in Ohio, I would water first thing in the morning, and then I would come back and water again at night. The one thing I would be extra careful about, because when you water and it's super hot outside, it will make your tomatoes split if you give them too much water and they're, begging for that water and it's super hot outside. It'll split your tomatoes. So I try to do mornings, but if not mornings, I wait to right at sunset to water.
Oh, me, I do it either at sunset or nightfall. I do it on either the second to last or the last walk of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it has all night to soak it. The plants get to soak it up before the heat dries it out.
That's what I was thinking too.
Hubby had to take over watering my hydroponics this week, and then he had to dispatch one of my quail. Oh, I know that was hard on him. It's his first dispatch, and he was the guy that would never watch me do it. Oh, so he had to do it all just by how you talked and told him about it.
So what is the super duper fertilizer for the 3-foot tall spinach?
Okay, Ken, tell us what is your super duper fertilizer? Well, he lives in California, number one.
Well, that's a huge fertilizer all by itself. That sun is nice
Right.
in California.
And Amy says we can grow rutabagas
Okay.
because she's a little farther north than we are.
That might be one of my new vegetables.
Yeah, because I won't even try a rutabaga because they're covered in wax at the grocery store.
I don't like buying anything from the grocery store anymore if I can help it.
No, yeah. He's in North Carolina in the Valley, Zone 9B. Not far from Katrina, which is sow and tear.
Oh, it's a special formula. Okay.
Well, you want me to tell you some things that are good for your garden?
Absolutely.
Grow worms. That way you have that liquid gold.
Yes.
Another thing is rabbits.
I've heard great things about the rabbits, and using the rabbit poop and everything in the garden is the best fertilizer out there, is what I'm hearing.
Well, you know where you can get some fresh rabbit poo now.
Yes.
We're only a half an hour away, about a half an hour away from each other. So,
And I spent a lot of time down that way, for my day job.
yeah.
It looks like there might be another source of rabbit poo.
Well, not Katrina, but Andy Rabbit does it too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty much everything in the grocery store has a wax film over it. I mean, all your fruits, your apples, unless you're buying organic, it's got that wax over them.
Yeah. Yeah, she knows. She's right close to me. She knows where to get it. You got turnips, rutabagas, beets, green onions, and radishes. Is about all I have room for. Okay. Yes, rabbit poo is supercharged. But what you do is you call it rabbit scat. And that way you don't have to say poo all the time. And it sounds more fun. Annie says she has so many worms awake and working in her garden already this year. I was surprised to see them moving already. My house that I had in Oregon, Ohio, in the warm months, when the lights went out, you wait about a half an hour and you turn the light back on, the front yard is moving.
Oh, wow.
That's how many worms were there.
I mean, I'm so wet right now from, all of the rain that's come through here recently, that the worms are everywhere right now too. So they're definitely working. And alfalfa tablets are good too for fertilizer. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
rabbit food is alfalfa tablets.
Ah,
It doesn't surprise me. We got up close to 70 and we're supposed to get up to 70 this coming week.
yes.
Yeah, but the only thing you have to worry about on coffee grounds is the pH balance of your garden. Some plants will love it and some plants won't because it's higher in acid. Makes the soil more acidy if you're not careful how much you use. Yep. And you want me to tell you what else coffee grounds are good for? Hello, Tommy. Is when it's slick outside, instead of putting salt on your sidewalk or your walkways,
Coffee grounds.
use coffee grounds. That gives you the traction you need to keep from sliding.
Nice.
And it's better for the ground, for your soil, than the salt is.
Yep, it's giving back.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ken, so do rabbits and cuy. They love banana peels too. Silver Creek is Tommy. He does fish, hydroponics, gardening, and quail. And I think chickens too. Yes, I do, TM. Yes, I do. I also go through a lot of tea because I have iced tea. For when I'm not drinking coffee, I'm drinking tea. Yeah, Matt. Even you could use use it. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you
Yeah,
tonight.
yes.
Gratford Branch is in New Mexico, and he has his live stream about 12 hours after mine.
Oh, okay.
He says, "Yep, and geese and other stuff too." He does aquaponics, hydroponics, tropical fish, all different type of fish. Um, yeah.
I am playing around with a little bit of hydroponics. So I have that lead pot hydroponic system. See which way?
Uh-huh.
It's behind me here. Playing around with that a little bit for indoors for the winter months.
Yeah, Matt's son gets his driver's license, and he wouldn't have to take an airplane to Quail. He could him and his son can tag team drive from New Mexico to Miamisburg
Oh
for
my
Quail.
goodness. So
Because my
Quail
child,
is in Miamisburg?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, the main thing it's a quail farm, but they have other animals too. But QuailCon is not just about quails. Of course, that's a big thing about it. It's about self-sufficiency, because we believe quails are your starter animals if you're trying to go self-sufficient.
I'll definitely have to look into that.
Yeah, you can do black soldier flies like you do worms. Yeah, Andy, you can also raise them in a bin like you do the worms. But instead of yeah, instead of the water seal top, you put like a screen for you do for a quail. There you go. QuailCon is a family reunion. In other words, once you join QuailCon, you're right in the family.
Got it. And when is that? Is the date already set?
August 31st and September 1st. It's always Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
I know I'm one of the speakers there every year.
Nice.
Even though my health made me give up quail, doesn't mean it can't make me give up the knowledge unless I get Alzheimer's. And if I get Alzheimer's, I'll probably still go off on quail.
So there's a question: do I prefer June bearing, overbearing, or a combination?
On strawberry.
I prefer everbearing. I prefer everbearing. I prefer to have a little bit all season long versus them all coming in at once. And that's what I'm growing in my two towers. I grow the everbearing.
That's what I grow. Because who wants big strawberries that you only get in June when you can have them all season long?
Mm-hmm.
And if you take it in the house, you can have it all year long.
And I grow my strawberries in the GreenStalk towers, as well as in, I have a galvanized tub that I put holes in the bottom, and I'm growing them in there, as well as in fire rings that I purchased years ago, and basically made a raised bed out of fire rings. And so I have all of my strawberries growing in those containers.
See, they have 14 raised beds in their community garden.
Nice.
Well, you know, it may get, heck, you don't know. I might have the beginning of it already. If you listen to some people.
And we're counting down to QuailCon. All right.
Yeah, 182 days. Oh, you also want to link to March Hare Farm on YouTube, because tomorrow night they go live, and that's where you keep up on everything with QuailCon.
Okay.
Of course, as soon as, like when the tickets go on sale and stuff like that, kids 18 under 18 come in free.
Oh, nice. Really nice.
Yeah. And it's very family oriented. I mean, they got like bouncy houses and everything going for kids.
Oh, my girls would love that.
Okay, if you have short-term memory loss, a lot of times you don't even know it. I know from experience. When I had the multiple concussion, I had very bad short-term memory. I know, Lucy. All right, come on. All right. Yes. Yes.
There may be a Canadian theme at the QuailCon this year.
Oh, yeah, because now we can sell to Canada from March Hare.
Nice.
Come on. You can get up here. You got to decide where you're going to go. You know, it's not time for you to go out yet. So you can either get in the lap or you can get out of my way. Your choice. So she blinks at me. Let's
So
see.
I've learned how to make raised beds on a hillside. Nice.
Yeah, when I had the multiple concussion, I still have some problems with it, but had to learn to make them on a hill. Yeah, that's where you. We are not going to tolerate the scolding of Lucy on this channel.
So the question is, where do I source my meats from? So I buy my meats from a local farmer somewhere down in the Cincinnati area. I'll have to look them up, but it's called Buckeye. I think it's Buckeye Valley Farms. And it's grass-fed meat.
I can find.
And I get all of my beef from them. They have other stuff as well. And then they put me in contact with a local pork farmer. So I get all of my pork from a local farmer as well. And then if I can't get it local, then I use Butcher Box. Did it come up?
Yeah, I got it now. It's a beef cooperative. Let me do some things and then I'll share it.
Okay. And until I had grass-fed beef, I didn't even know there was a difference. There's a huge difference than what you buy at the grocery store in the quality, the taste, everything.
Huh, it's not recognizing that as a... Okay, let me share this.
And it's a pretty nice farm too, because I don't even go to the website anymore. They call me once a year now. I'm like, hey, are you still, you need an order this year? And then we work it out. Oh, their website's even been updated.
Yeah. Beef shares. Let's see what that's about. Is that what you do, beef shares?
Well, I just called them up and said, hey, I want to buy a whole cow. And they talked me through the process.
Right.
And the first time I did that was about 3 years ago now. And now every year they call me up around the same time that I've ordered and say, hey, do you want another? Because once you get on the list, you don't have to go through this process anymore. And the first year I did a quarter, and then I went from a quarter to a half, and I went from a half to a whole. And I go in with some of my coworkers because it's cheaper, of course, the more you buy. And so we split a whole cow between 3 people, and that lasted me over a year.
$100 for a customized order on a beef share.
So that's different than what I do. Yeah, I order the whole. It's probably custom, where you buy the whole, cow, or a quarter of a cow, or half of a cow.
It says whole, half, or quarter.
Oh, that's it then. So the website's just updated.
Right.
And you put a $100 deposit down, and then when it's your turn, they'll let you know that it's getting close, it's getting ready to go to the processor, and then you work with the processing plant or site, whoever's going to process it for you. And
you have to go someplace to pick it up, don't you?
Well, it could be done 2 ways. You can pick it back up at Buckeye Valley, or you can pick it up at the processor. And so the processor is closer to me, and so it's like, I don't know, 10 miles from me, and I just go to the processing plant and pick it up.
Yeah, because it looks like, wait a minute, let me get back here and show. Pickup location, processor is Midway.
That's who I use. I use Midway.
I don't know where Milford Meat Drop is.
I don't know where that is either. Midway is right off of Interstate 70. Just outside of Dayton.
Uh-huh. So I have to do that with my daughter with me so that, so that she can understand. Yeah. I could only do a quarter. I only got one of those little small freezers.
I had the little small one, and I did a half a hog and a quarter of a cow, and it fit perfectly. But then, I got, I guess, a little greedy, so I had to go buy a bigger freezer. And I went to a whole hog and a third of a cow. And then I get my poultry from Butcher Box. And you can get the tallow, you can get the bones for it, so you can make broth and all of that kind of stuff. You just tell them, the processor how you want it cut, and that you want the bones and the tallow and all that kind of stuff, and they'll prep it for you.
Andy's asking, do you have a freeze dryer?
I don't yet.
Notice the operative word, yet.
It is on my priority list, and it keeps moving closer to the top.
That's cool. Well, I need to get another cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
And so I do make my own bone broth from the bones from the cow.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't use them, they'll just toss them. But you might as well use every piece of it, right?
No, they don't toss them. They'll make money from the food, from the dog food companies.
Well, there you go. There you go. Somebody's getting paid off of it, but you're just giving away free stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So what you're doing is you're depriving yourself of not only work you have to do, but food.
And it's super easy. Just throw it in a big, stock pot and just let it cook for hours real slow, and it brings out that nice rich broth. I mean, you can flavor it with herbs as well, but it's super, super easy. And so there's a note here saying that Buckeye Valley does ship to all states, which I didn't even know. So yeah, thank you. You have a great team here.
Oh, yeah. Amy used the Crocky hydroponics, so nice. Yeah, do you
Buying bone broth from the store is so expensive when you realize how easy it is to make bone broth.
I have a question for you. Do you roast your bones in the oven before you make your bone broth?
I have. If I'm not in a super big hurry, yes, I will roast them honestly for about 45 minutes to an hour real slow first. And then I throw them into, I use a roaster, a big roasting pan.
Yeah.
And I put the bones in there, and I'll use like onion peels, carrot tops, carrot skins, all of the stuff you peel off of your vegetables. I keep that in a freezer bag. And when I'm ready to make bone broth, I throw that in on top, put the water in, turn it down real slow, cook it for 24 hours or more, and then I can it up. Yes, from the store. That's right. You're paying for salt, right? And stuff you can't pronounce.
What do you add a dab of vinegar to your bone broth to draw out the extra phosphorus and stuff?
I haven't, not in the past, no.
You can't taste it when you do it.
Okay.
Because you don't add a lot. You only add like a couple tablespoons.
Oh, that's simple enough.
Right. There you go.
I like that. Yes.
And if you pressure cook your bones enough that they become really soft that there's no way for your dog to choke on them. Okay, you guys, in 10 minutes, we're going to call it a day.
I'm actually going to have to leave before 10 minutes because I have to go pick my daughter back up.
Well,
But
you
this
have
was,
a blessed day, and thank you for coming.
thank you for having me. And I may sneak back in the chats here in the future. But thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
Yeah, now you see why we are such a great community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what I like to do is getting other people that have different spins on things because we all can learn something from each other.
And I have tons of notes of stuff I need to go do now. Well, thank you so much. And thanks for putting in the chat that's my YouTube channel there. Check me out if you get a chance. And again, this was so nice. And thank you so much for having me.
You have a blessed day, dear.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
My. There we go, you guys. Now, wasn't she sweet? And she gave us some good information, and we made a good exchange there. But I stumbled on her channel, and I figured you guys would like her. Yeah, she's pretty sweet and with good information, yes, and she's very nice. Well, I'm going to go behind the camera because I need a cancer stick, and I've only had 2 during this session today. Wow, I'm doing good. Yeah, that grow tent. See, if I don't quite have room for that grow tent because I got all these shelves. Yes, Kimberly is welcome back at any time. I know, Desiree, because you're up so late at night and then you forget about the morning. Yeah, I thought I was crazy having 2 GreenStalks, and she's got 11 of them. That's right, Andy. She was too entertaining. You didn't think about having one. I know that feeling, Desiree. I went to bed at 1 o'clock this morning. I was awake at 6 o'clock and tried to go back to sleep and couldn't. Yeah, but where are you, TM? I don't know what a sleep score is. Oh, you're in Utah. Well, you should be able to do a lot of the things we're talking about. Yeah, and since you're what, 3 hours? Well, no, you're the same time zone. Matt can make it. I know you're going through so much pain and everything, Dawn. Well, I would, I don't know. Daffodils sprouting, robins showing up. Those are the signs of spring. Yeah, first the sewer flies. They come before spring, just before spring. First warm day. Sewer flies and regular flies. Yeah, I knew that that pain does cause your blood pressure to rise. Because sometimes that's the only way we find out that I'm in pain. That's if you have a local butcher. See, if I bought that much meat, I would have to be doing a lot of cooking and freeze drying. Well, that's spring, and Andy. You're in spring. Better get the fly tape out and everything right now. We got 3 minutes left, people. Oh, you so lucky. Well, TM, I have a problem with store bought beef, but maybe I can buy like a quarter cow or just some meat. Yeah, that's true. That is really good. Well, it's time to go now. So everybody have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow night when my Shire's live. As soon as I can fit it in my schedule, cause so everybody have a blessed day. Stay safe and keep growing.